early part of like the 2000s, right? But I haven't been on one for a very long time. Do you know what I mean? I'm engaged. You've got your permanent partner, all that kind of thing. You don't go on there. No. Although I have seen when a wonderful action sports troupe, when it was in existence, toured Bathurst, they came here for a gravity sports event at Mount Panorama.
Right.
The males that were part of this are like going, we want some tail tonight. So basically what they did is they swiped right on all these people in the area until the first one got a match, and the first one who got a match won $50. Okay. And they weren't looking. They didn't care if they were Ming hags or whatever. They were just whatever the girl looked like, right? You know what I mean? Just swiped right. But do you think that if you're needing a date, you know, maybe your relationship's broken down, you know, some time has passed, you feel like you want to get back into the game, so to speak, and you feel like, you know, you're not emotionally crushed or hurt anymore, do you think, I'm going to reach out now and try and find someone? Now, back in my day and your day, this wasn't a thing.
No, we went and got munted.
You went and got, men and women came together at the pub or the club,
yes, got
munted and made some poor choices. Mm-hmm. But maybe sometimes the poor choices worked out. Do you know what I mean?
Sort of, yeah.
With a big smile on my face. Can't you tell exactly that I'm smiling at the moment about that?
Poor choices.
Poor choices.
Anyway.
Hang on, let me try it. Ready? Poor choices. Anywho.
It's like brand power. I can just see you, you know, picture of a nightclub, right, going off, and then you just like get wheeled in, not moving like what's the name, you know? Da-da-da-da, poor choices. Steve-O here. He's going to hook up with Shazza. That's a poor choice.
All right.
We really need to do a show.
What, a TV show?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay, so the reason why I'm mentioning this is because when you go on there, you don't really think. Well, you probably do. Like when you're, you know, balled up under the doona on the couch by yourself, do you know what I mean, with the phone, and you're just swiping through profiles to see who you could find. Okay. I don't think at that stage you're actually looking at people and going, oh, he might give me this. I might catch the clap from that, all that kind of thing. You don't think about that.
No.
So when you match with someone, you first chat, then you decide, well, these days, because everyone's frightened of their own shadows, that we need to meet in a public place where lots of people are, so I'm safe, so he's safe, so I could, you know, I've got to bail. Maybe there's another friend, let's call them a producer, who, if something's not going right, they're sitting across the street with a little pair of binocs to be able to watch.
You've got the wire on, and when you say, you know, rubber bunky bunkers, she comes in and
then pulls you out.
Lifts you out. Yeah,
exactly right.
Yep.
So you've got yourself an ejection seat, so to speak, right? But you never think about that. Like maybe when you're just lonely, you're just like going, look, I'm
just want to get up my nuts and guts on someone.
You haven't heard that before.
You're not exactly, you know, doing full background checks, are you? You just need to get one away.
Can you put your hand up and warn me when you're going to do that? Any hole's a goal. That's what you're saying.
Oh, sex is like golf. Every hole's practice hole.
Isn't it funny when you think about that? A golf is really like sex.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to shoot your white wad into a small hole.
And you walk around all day trying to do it.
And trying to find it too.
Yeah.
I thought that landed on the fairway, but where's my ball gone?
In the rough.
Back to, don't make me do it again. I don't want to cough. A British personal trainer is suing a woman who he went on a date with after being left with a virus for life, after he claims it resulted from their romantic encounter. Now, I'm not being filthy like Siraz over here at the other side of the table. Martin Conway is a 45-year-old personal trainer. Says he was left traumatized.
I'm traumatized. She give him AIDS or something.
He got a cold sore from a woman who he knew as Giovanna Lovelace.
Princess.
They pashed on a date. Now, old mate is demanding a payout of £136,328, which comes to almost $250,000 here over in Australia.
That's a little excessive for a cold sore.
Well,
or did he describe it as face herpes?
He's stating she failed to inform him that she had the herpes simplex virus, or HSV, when she had a moral and ethical and legal duty to warn him of the risks before they made out. Now, there's two types of HSV. Well, there's actually three, but we're not talking about the
V8.
the V8s.
I just
over
want
here.
one.
Now, both can occur in the mouth, lips, and genitals. New South Wales Health states, okay, while symptoms can last between 7 to 10 days, you can carry the virus for life and it can flare up at any stage.
99% of the population of the world have herpes simplex A.
He said he was upset. And
You
he
would
said
have
he was,
already had it.
Yeah, well, he reckons he was
If
upset.
he ever had a coleslaw. No, if
KFC.
If you've ever had KFC before in his life, then he's had this virus.
Yeah.
So I think he's lonely and broke.
The bastion of truth and goodness in England, the Sun newspaper, stated that he was upset, angry, and very confused. Now, he wanted justice, and it was then I decided I wanted to take legal action against the broad.
Sake.
Now, describing his plight as being saddled with the virus for life, he went on to explain the woman who he met in July last year after hitting it off on meetup.com. She should have warned him.
Was it spelled meatup.com?
meetup.com. Why? What's the problem?
Meetup, as in get some meat.
God, you're a idiot. He goes, I did not freely enter into the risks relating to the injury or any type of contagion. I was kissed.
You were going to her, like, seriously, dude.
Yeah. So in reality, are we saying that Mr. Conway here has got off lightly?
He's a idiot.
No, but has he got off lightly? He might be a chop, but did he get off lightly?
Well, he could have gotten a lot worse.
As a result of his new lifelong companion, he claims that he has stopped him from pursuing his dream career as a lawyer and left him too scared to leave his house.
Oh,
because he's got
cold sore.
Cold sore. He can't go cycling anymore. He claims that the heat and stress will cause a flare-up. In total, he's claiming that amount in compensation from the day, which of most he claims is to cover fortnightly therapy sessions as required until the age of 79, as well as lost earnings.
Oh.
However, his date's fighting back as.
Good.
Now, with the lawyers for the woman blasting his legal bid as frivolous and vexatious. And is asking for the case to be thrown out. Now, the statement of case discloses no reasonable grounds for the bringing of the claim. The abuse of the process of the court is pretty much what is put into the
you're being a chop suit.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, the case is set to be heard later this year. Now,
we got to follow that one.
No. Let's talk about herpes for a moment, okay? Because we should be serious about something.
I thought Alan Jones retired.
The medical advice for those living with any form of herpes including avoiding skin contact from the time of first symptoms, dubbed the warning tingle, and maintaining this for a week after the symptoms have gone. This helps prevent transmission, New South Wales Health states on their website. However, not everyone gets the tingle as. Now, he would have got the tingle while he was swiping through meetup.com.
Or when she stuck a finger up his bum.
Some symptoms are asymptomatic, meaning that those with herpes can be unaware that they're contagious or they even have HSV. So there you go. You have just learned something about herpes on the burble. I'm proud of you for sticking through that. You want to know why? Because it's science. Now, as these birds have been superseded by another bird in this country, which is a real pain in the ass, I'm not talking about swooping magpies. I am not talking about bin chickens. Those things. I'm talking about seagulls.
Seagulls.
The one thing that used to, like when you go to the beach, 80s, 90s, all that kind of thing, you go to the kiosk, you get yourself some hot chips, and then all of a sudden these squawking
they be all over you like a rash.
Flying rats.
Yes.
Gives a chip, and then when you don't throw one, they arc their neck and they're like, all that kind of thing.
Or one of them like puts his leg up in the air and acts all hurt, and you look at him and then his mates are pinching the chips.
Yeah.
Because they work in gangs.
That like those little dinosaurs on Jurassic Park. You know, Jurassic Park. Yeah, like the third one, I think they were the little ones that just like bit the shit out of that little girl at the beginning.
Oh, yes.
Those things, you know what I mean? A seagull has flown into some English bird's house, right? Because she stupidly had the door open into her courtyard. Her name is Charlotte. And what Charlotte did, now she's a recruitment worker.
Was she recruiting the bird?
Well, she ended up being a little bit sick after seeing the grim, gloopy rice-light vomit left by Steven Seagull. Now, she said, we were on a Zoom to our friends doing a quiz when this bird just walked into the flat. And then this is the reaction. This is what happened. Check this out, okay? So she's laughing about it, right? It's just wandering around.
Yeah, that's a great joke.
So then it flies to the kitchen bench, and then this happens. He throws up on the bench and then just flies out the door.
He's been sick everywhere. Oh my God, where's he go? He's going to die. He's going to die. Go away.
Flies up on the fence.
Get out. Oh my God. Get out for a walk, please. Go away.
I love the pommies. I like that. It's like, will you get a fair wall, please? And then, what you doing, mate? I love how everything's made over there. What's going on, mate?
What made this Steven Seagull come into her place and vomit everywhere on the kitchen bench?
He's just an angry seagull. He's like, you in particular, I'm going to go yak on your kitchen bench.
I reckon he walked, because he did. He came in and went around the couch in the living area, then went over to the kitchenette.
Yep.
Flew up on there, went to spew, and then off. No. This is the animal version of Selling Houses England. He's gone in and said, have a look at the decor of this dump. And then he leaves. It's the seagull. You know what? He's almost like that mate that you go, oh, yeah, I suppose you can come along to the party. Comes to the party, gets bent drunk,
spews
shits
everywhere.
and spews himself everywhere. You end up getting someone who's more sympathetic to put him in the shower to sober him up. At least this is what happened when we were in high school, There'd be somebody who just throw him in the shower and wake him up before we take him home because his mum's going to rolling pin us or something like that. But I reckon the seagulls just walked in, maybe heard what they were talking about. They were doing a Zoom quiz or something like that. He's walked around the couch going, nah. I'd love to see that on the block because they build those.
Scott Cam coming in after a big night on the cans.
No. The bloody the side foreman. What's his name?
I don't know.
Anyway, I could see his face right now. But they usually build those things for the block near the seaside, like St Kilda and down in Albert Park and all that kind of thing. Plenty of seagulls down there. I'd love to see the seagull version of the block. Do you know what I mean? How good would that be? Like one of the judges walks in, Shayna Blaze walks in, right, and just goes, oh, look at this. Projectile vomits, makes some sort of Andy Warhol impressionist painting, and then she flies off.
She's like, oh, that'll look great on the wall. We'll just put that on canvas. And
Now, she said that we were drunk at the time the seagull came in.
maybe the seagull was drunk too. Maybe he'd been hooking up with that monkey.
Yeah,
him
well-
and my drinking buddies.
Yeah, they had some fermented fruit, decided to fly in there, walk around, check them out, decided that they were all, nah, not you, mate. There's not enough fermented peaches I could eat to make me want to be with you. Have a spew, and then off.
So he's basically swiped left on the house.
What's some of the worst stinks that you've ever smelt as? What would be one thing that you just can't abide by on the bugle? Like you can't smell it. Like I can't smell that. Get me the away from said stink now.
Rotten fish.
Rotten fish. Yep. So
Remember that time we were at the dam, we found that big cod head?
The cod.
Oh.
Someone had cut the head off a cod. It was illegal, and it was massive. It was like the mouth opening was the size of a basketball. I kid you not.
Yeah, it was huge.
It was huge, and there was that reeked. Yeah. Now that I'm
You
thinking,
can taste it in the back of your
I
throat.
need beer. So rotten fish, yes, and some people around the world who are stupid enough to try surströmming. Now,
that's
rotten fish in a can.
Acid fish.
Yeah. It like people have. I've seen radio stations get their breakfast team to do it, but they have to go to a park and eat it. And I've actually got a friend of mine who has actually done it, and the smell never comes out of a house.
Don't they bury it in like in a vessel for 6 months and dig it up and then can it or something?
Something like that.
That's disgusting.
Okay, I've been to Southeast Asia. Mm-hmm. I've been to Singapore. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, when you go to the night markets, which is an experience in Singapore, it really is. You get there and you're at the one end with all the fake Gucci and Calvin Klein stuff, watches, sunglasses, all that kind of stuff. You know it's fake, but you don't care. You go, I'm going to take my little piece of, basically car boot sale Singapore home.
Yep.
Knock off stuff.
Yep.
But then you go to the other end of the night market and it reeks. You know why it reeks?
Oh, I know why it reeks.
Why?
It's a particular green fruit.
Yes. And it's called a durian.
Durian, yeah.
The durian.
Durian.
Well,
Zukian. Smells like shit.
Now, listen, the fruit itself is spiky. Like, If it fell